Let's get it. What's up, y'all? What's going on with everybody up out there, man? I hope that y'all became a member, man, because then you get all the videos at one time. If not, then you just gotta have to wait patiently, man, as they come out throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? Last week I just did a favor for everybody. I just dropped them all for y'all. Bang, bang, back to back. You know what I'm saying? Just dropped them back to back for y'all. I know I've been MIA. Want to give a shout out to the Rawhide Media family. The panels and everything, you know what I'm saying? Because I know an MIA all knows just been extremely busy on the road, man. Like by the time I get done driving, tired, you know what I'm saying? I gotta take a bath, gotta eat, contact a fan. Just a lot. Just handle business, man. You know what I'm saying? And trying to upkeep my shit too at the same time. And I just like to talk to y'all real, you know what I mean? Like I just like to give it to y'all real, out here as probably as quick as possible. Like I am, I do got a character, you know what I'm saying, and everything, but I'm trying to, you know what I mean, keep it a buck with y'all. Y'all get where it's at, you know what I'm saying. The real understand the fake and the haters, they don't understand. They probably never will, but I got, you know what I'm saying, I got a solid base and everything. I just wanted to give a shout out to you know what I'm saying? And the women outside there doing their thing, like Carissa Shields. I don't think a lot of people talk about her enough. For instance, like, you know what I'm saying? Like let's keep it a buck. Like she's one of the best female boxers out there, dog. Like hold up. Like she just is. She's just one of the best, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the best. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's women that paved the way for what she's doing, but let's keep it a whole buck. Like she's really ill with what she's doing out there, yo. Like, yeah, y'all don't I don't think we understand what she's done. You know what I'm saying? Moving up in weight classes. You know, there's dudes that's timid to do what she's doing, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? They weight bullying. She's like, fuck that. I could do whatever and move up and talk it and back it up. And there's nothing worse that people can't stand than somebody that could talk they ish and back it up at the same time. Like they don't like that. They don't like that. Like I had made a small video about that other day of how we don't support each other, but we the first ones that criticize each other. You know what I'm saying? And but she's like, but that's like definition of that for real. She's like the definition Carissa Shields is. You know what I'm saying? A lot going on with Pap or whatever. Hey, that's beyond me. You know what I'm saying? And what's really going on with that? I just see that there's an outstanding friendship going on. Whatever went on with that. You know what I'm saying? If you really know the background of that, then I don't really think you feel any type of way towards that situation because we don't know the situations that go in between that. But I will say that she's a hell of a female boxer and that's a hell of a rapper dude. You know what I'm saying? Deserves every bit of it. And y'all gotta go check out that movie. Like, how many people went to go check out her movie? Like, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? We got a young person, only like 29, 30. And that has had a documentary movie and in a big in the main screen, like the you know what I'm saying, big stage cinemas. How many people has went to go watch that? Took your daughters and supported that movie, that movement. Like how many people actually went to go see that? You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because that's just what it is. That's just what it is out here. But just doing her thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like all kinds of accolades, bro. But I wanted to start off with talking about a little bit about my Pittsburgh Steelers, man, and what's been going on with them. Like as far as this QB thing, like eh, we got Justin Fields on a 1 year deal. Sources is saying that we got him on a 1 or 2 year deal, and I think that's fair. You know, what I mean, I know I just got done with my Steelers talk or whatever, but remind y'all, I was just this is just like the whole sports in the whole week. You know, what I mean, I just got finished talking about giving a shout out to Carissa Shields and everything, but like the 1 or 2 year deal is perfect for what's about to happen. There is quarterbacks in this draft that I think that will work out, but do you really want to take the chance with a rookie quarterback or somebody who has proven themselves to be getting better, to matured in this league, to you know what I'm saying, to be in a same offense, you know what I'm saying, back to back years, and really didn't leave us in a bad situation at all. At all. Because I thought last year, to be honest with y'all, I thought last year we should have probably went and played him throughout the season. Now he hasn't finished the whole season, so I was thinking to myself, like, maybe, well, if he plays throughout the season, and then if he gets a little bit banged up, then now here comes Russ. If Russ comes in and provides that quick sixth, seventh game spark that he gave us, you know what I'm saying, when he first came in, then I think that takes us deep into the playoffs. Now, we probably had won a championship, but now we probably would have been excited that we at least got a playoff win. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's how that goes. But look, we got the 21st overall pick, and I hope that we take that and actually use it for a skilled position, for a receiver, a running back. We have to get to knock off some of this money, because look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, when you talk about empty calories, that's what I see when I see Najee Harris's stats. I'm just keeping it real. A lot of people out there may be mad. You may not agree with me, but sometimes stats don't tell the whole story. And I know I'm a stats guy, but see, those stats right there, the complete stats, and you do get paid off of those. He did put those up, but however, there was games where he was just totally not missing. He went just he couldn't get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Now, do we blame that all on him? No, I don't blame it all on him. That a lot of that has to do with the blocking, right? And what the offensive line wants to do. But at the same time, though, like, you can't expect to get a huge payday off of, you know what I'm saying, off of the work that you put out there. Because there's other running backs that don't have, you know what I'm saying, the offensive line to help like that neither. But how many 20-yard bursts did you have when those good games? Like, he had a couple, but I think it's empty calories, and I don't think that we could just come off and just throw a bag at him, especially for a position that and I don't think that the running back position is. I know it's undervalued, but I wouldn't say that you should underpay them. I believe he deserves to get paid. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if we throw the bag at him, because this is like, when we're looking at this from a business perspective, and Najee Harris getting paid. I think there's young running backs that could come in and provide that. And then when we look at it, and especially with me for the past 2 years, past 2-3 years, since we got Jalen Warren's been coming in and he's been providing that spark at running back. If you ask me, like, I think Najee was getting kind of lazy. His game elevated when we seen Jalen Warren, because Jalen was hitting them holes like crazy. Jalen Warren, he runs that rock, bro. Now, does he have the advantage because he's a little shorter back? Absolutely, but he's been running the ball like a maniac. You know what I mean? And I said that to somebody when I was at the Monday night game with the Browns a couple years back, and 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 uh and they were looking at me crazy, like, what are these? I'm like, watch. Jalen Warren went off, and I'm like, see, and they like, man, you might be right, and I'm like, I am. Jalen Warren's been running hard, consistently, you can't. Everybody's not Le'Veon Bell, bro. Everybody's not that patient type of runner that could break tackles like how Le'Veon was doing. Like, Le'Veon, he was hard to bring down too, though. You know what I'm saying? He was a patient runner. You know what I'm saying? Patient. He was a perfect zone type of runner, but I don't know if Najee's that. Like, he got to hit those holes like how he was in Alabama. He was straight north. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'd have put the move on you or something, but got to get going, man. You got to get that motor going. We need somebody who's going to hit the hole straight up, and that's why I think Connor Hayward should get the rock. But I like the deal. Nonetheless, I like the deal a lot that we're throwing at Justin Fields. Reportedly, that some insiders are saying out. I don't know how true it is or not, but if we're going to throw a 1 or 2 year deal at Justin Fields, pretty much a tryout deal, I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect for what Justin Fields is doing and what he got going through, man. You know what I'm saying? And what we got going now. Now we got to get the weapons to him. Get him some of these top-notch talent weapons coming out of this draft at receiver. And go all in that way. Now, if it don't work out, we can't. It's not like we're putting ourselves behind. Like we've already missed on so many defensive offensive linemen, in recent history. So, like I said, let's go ahead and let's get these right receivers that we need and these playmakers for the ball for him to, open up this field for him to make it more dangerous. And I guarantee you it'd take a lot of pressure off this defense. And I think the defense will play a lot better. Because that's the type of defense we have. We got to put points on the board. We got to get some cornerback help, but I think we can get that too. There's some sleepers I think you'll be able to grab in the later rounds. I don't. And I want to see how Noah Williams work out, but I think somebody like Noah Williams could be available for us for sure if we draft correctly. I think Noah Williams could be provided for us. I think he's a solid second round pick. If not, I would even reach and go ahead and grab Noah Williams in the first at cornerback. I would even go and get him in the first round at the 21st pick. He led the NCAA in interceptions. Like he can't be bad, dog. Just can't be bad. Like can't, you know what I'm saying? I know they threw at him and they made him pay the price for it. So I don't think that's a reach at all. At 21 is a tough spot in the draft because you're now all the way in the front, but you're now all the way in the back. So anybody you possibly could be drafting could be a reach, but it's all about team need and team scheme. Does he fit our scheme? Like I think so. He's one of the better man coverage type of guys. You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to allow him to be in the zone, if you're going to put no Williams in the zone, he's absolutely at too. He's good in both. So it's one of the better like cornerbacks in the league right now. Period. Going into the league to me. Moving on to the next one, man. Like obviously there's so much going on, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Bronny James, man. Bronny James doing this thing, got a couple points. I think that he's going to be an excellent ball player, man. It's just going to take some time for him to develop, but he got to have fun with the game, man. I think once he starts having fun with the game, it's going to be a wrap with Bronny, man. Like people got to ease up off him because like when he comes in and they expect him to be his dad, like that's not going to happen. But he be giving the G League everything they asked him for, and he goes up to move up to the NBA, and things is a little different. But I could tell he's starting to loosen up, and he's starting to get a better feel for this pro thing. And once he gets that down pat, watch out because not everybody plays with the same passion he has for the game. So you losing that in the NBA, but he's going to bring a lot of that passion. And believe it or not, a lot of people is waiting on him to be the next big thing in the NBA. They need that publicity from him. They need him to spark up and do a lot better for sure. CP3. Let's talk about this CP3 and Wemby got disqualified for hacking the NBA drill. So apparently they hacked the skill challenge by not shooting threes and just throwing them out there. Now, if I'm not correct, they didn't say you had to. They didn't say you had to make the shots. They said the quickest person through the damn course wins. Correct. So they did just that. You got to make the last basket to stop the clock. You know what I mean? You got to make the last basket to stop the clock. Correct. Now I don't know how they did. Now disqualifies because they didn't try to, at least hit the rim or whatever. I'm not feeling that, but they did what they did, man. They did what they did, and I don't think that they should have got disqualified for that at all. I don't think that I don't agree with that. They got through the course in was 48 seconds, 47.9, 48 seconds, something like that. And Donovan Mitchell from the Cavs, a lot of people didn't agree with that, and a lot of people don't agree. You know what I'm saying? What went on, but I think that it's not a hack. I guess it is a hack because but the drill doesn't say you got to make the shots. It just said you got to get through the course and you have to make the last basket to stop the clock. That's on them for not being, you know what I'm saying, for not being more specific in with words in the drill. They got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to put the words in the drill. Like, you know what I'm saying? They hold them to contract. So y'all words and the rules states that you start the drill. You have to make the passes through the O's. You have to make the pass to advance, but then you have to shoot. It doesn't say you have to make it. Now, what they have to do to the drill now is that you have to make at least one of the shots to advance with the 3-pointer, but then that would mean you have to add more balls, but you got to make at least one of them, right? But they don't say you got to attempt a shot. They did. They threw the ball at the damn rim. What is a shot? Throwing the ball out of rim, right? That's all I'm saying. Air balls happen, but it was a hack nonetheless. But that's just what this NBA thing has became. It's becoming a joke, and I've been saying for a couple of years that the NBA, like the All-Star game, used to mean so much. The All-Star dunk contest is now being won by somebody who, and shout out to him because he got bunnies. I'm not saying that dude is whack. Like, he's a beast. He's a beast. Like he be dunking, he gets it in. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude be getting it in. But I want to see the stars of the NBA dunk. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't get Nate Robinson, Dwight Howard. Like, those were the last ones. But even LeBron should have been taking place in those. Like, and the fact that LeBron didn't take place in those, I think, was the downfall of the NBA. You got the face of the NBA. Like, the face of the NBA is always taking place in the dunk contest. If not the dunk, the 3-point, you know what I'm saying? You're in some kind of competition. Like, you didn't even take place in the 3-point competition, obviously, because he couldn't shoot threes that good as he can now. It took us years to develop that, but dag, like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, people wanted to see LeBron, but I mean, we got Dwight Howard touching the top of it. We got Nate Robinson dunking. I think that was on the decline of it, when it all started. But now you getting the best dunkers in the world, and I think that's to be honest, I think that's better than not having a dunk contest at all, because we're getting some sick dunkers. So I'm both ways with that. I'm really both ways with that. But I do think that the All-Star game should be played a lot. It should mean a lot more. But everything's about a bag, and I mean, the league make it like that. The owners, they make it like that. But then I think, but from a fan's perspective, and that's where I come from a lot of my takes and everything, is that it sucks for us because we got to pay for this shit. We pay for this shit. Like, why not make the shit free? You know what I mean? Why not make the shit free or make it affordable? Make the prices affordable. You know what I mean? You want to sell us a ticket for $1,000 for us to go watch a bunch of grown men that's supposed to be superstars and stars play like whatever. But then, and then, you know what I'm saying? Oh, everybody got a voice on social media. Everybody, all these pundits and everybody got a voice. Like, okay, but they're acting like they're everybody else. They're not getting paid like everybody else. Can't none of us just going, you know what I'm saying, say we're gonna want to go play in the NBA All-Star game and go make, you know what I'm saying, and make millions of dollars for playing the game of basketball. That some of us just go and play at the Y on Saturdays, on the weekends to, keep stay in shape. Like none of us getting paid millions of dollars to play a sport, but we're paying for that and we're not being able to see our players. And that's a problem. They start, you know what I'm saying? Embiid, Joel Embiid, like it's a joke. I honestly think like he's the biggest joke in the NBA right now. The biggest. Like, he just won an MVP a couple years ago and now ain't even playing games. He ain't even playing games. Like, I think I heard Gilly say on a Club Shay shit the other day, like, Joel Embiid has played almost as missed as many games as he has played in the NBA. That's crazy. If you're a 76ers season ticket holder, the owner should absolutely be giving you some kind of discount or refund because you possibly paid for that season ticket to see Joel Embiid, and you're not seeing Joel Embiid. You're not seeing him. He's not on the court. You know what I mean? And that sucks for the fans. But where does our voice come in at? Where do we have some kind of voice? When does our voice matter in that situation. It really doesn't, right? Because we get discredited by the stars and, you know what I'm saying, and by the people who played the game. Oh, everybody got some voice. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for our dollars, like a lot of this shit went and moved, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's the advertisement dollars that we pay for, because the advertisements wouldn't be able to advertise and pay for the advertisement had some of us not shopped at some of these local stores. Like, so at some point, yes, you need us lower pundits and everything else to talk about things, to keep things relevant amongst us people down here and in this realm at this level in life. You know what I'm saying? You need that. If some of us ain't talking about it and it's not reaching a couple of the 10 people we know, or the 10 people that watch our show, and the 10 and the 100 people that those 10 people may know, you know what I'm saying? And putting the things that we may be talking about on our little podcast to keep things relevant with some people, then the advertisements they just don't work. So yes, like the power of the people is the dollars that we spend. Like, and that's what everything. And once we realize that, we'll be able to take a lot back up out of America and a lot of this ish that we don't get along with. Once enough of us realize that, when it just think, and not just think sports. That's what everything. Once we realize our dollar is everything, the money we spend is everything. But yes, but when we go to a professional sporting event, we want to go see the star or the superstar of that team. We don't want to go pay a $200 ticket per person. Could you imagine? Could you imagine a family of 5, such as mine, paying $200 something per ticket to get some decent seats? $1,000, $1,000 something to go into an event. That's not including the nachos, popcorn, drink, or whatever that we may have while we're there, or the memorabilia that we might buy, a signed hat, a jersey, whatever it is that you may buy while you're there. You're gonna buy something, right? Because obviously you like that team, you're a supporter. So a family of 5 is already spending $1,000 to get into an event, maybe even 5, but you're spending a lot, the parking and everything else, and you can't see the superstar. See, I don't think people, and Michael Jordan cared about that. And that's why Mike will always be one of the GOATs, because Michael Jordan cared about the people. He cared about coming out and performing for the people. See, Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, Charles Oakley, Kobe, like a lot of them cared about the fan. And that's why they are billionaires in the game. And a lot of these guys will never reach that status, and they'll fizzle out once they leave the league with no championships, and they won't be remembered for anything because they don't care about that. Like, could you imagine the stories that will be told about Joel Embiid? See, a lot of people care about the money and they say they won't sell that stuff, but that's like selling yourself. You're selling out. You say you're not. You say you don't want to be a sellout, but you are selling out. And here's why. And here's why you're selling out. Because you say that legacy matters. I'm not going to put on a dress, or I'm not going to go put on a blackface or whatever to get a couple $1,000,000, or a monkey suit to get a couple $1,000,000, but I won't show up for the fans. You're not going to break any more records. You know what I mean? So the stories that will be told will be, yeah, Joel Embiid won an MVP, but he ain't shit. And excuse me for saying this and being so frank, but that's what the stories will be, because he didn't show up to play. He didn't show up. He didn't show up for the games. Nikola Jokic is the best big man in the league. Him and Giannis Antetokounmpo will be talked about when this history is all said and done. The argument for Joel Embiid being one of the greatest will never happen. It won't happen. He will never be one of the greatest. Never. Didn't win a championship. Yeah, sure, he got an MVP, but he's missed. Same thing with Kawhi, though. I don't know, like he misses games. This management, this time management is. Like, I mean, but Kawhi got trophy. He got a thing, and there's a lot of Kawhi Leonards. He definitely got a championship. Let's not take that from him. But missing games matters. The people matter. And when you matter to the people, and when you could be the people's champs and the voice of the streets, and or the voice of the people, or the superstar of the people, and not just the superstar for the brands. And when you could be the superstar for the brands and the people, you always be remembered. You always be remembered. There will be nothing that can etch you out of the history of nothing. Nothing. Your name will always be, your legacy will always be there. And is legacy important to a lot of these guys? And I don't think it is. It's the dollars. It's the dollars that matter to them. See, these brands don't get the dollars if we do not support these brands. So pay attention to the sponsors that are supporting the teams that have these players that do not want to perform for the people, and just don't support them. Period. And I think that and look, maybe I'm going out here and and I hope this ain't making some kind of hate speech, because this is a real speech. This is just a real talk. This is real feel right here. That just has us in a place in sports that it should not be at, but it's real. And it, look, it may be hitting you in a place where right now you're like, man, that is hateful, or that, you know what I mean, to tell people to not do that. Well, listen, when is your legacy going to matter? When is your legacy going to matter to you? Because it matters to me. Now, I don't have the means of millions of dollars to help or to do things, but my voice and my videos, they will be here for the test of time. Maybe they'll only have 100 views in 10 years. I don't know where this is going to take me, but I enjoy doing it. And I enjoy sports. But all I want to ask them, to them pros out there, if it matters to you, Embiid, Kawhi, and everybody else out there, your legacy, when and how is legacy going to matter? When and how is you going to be remembered by the people? The people. Yes, us. Now, moving on. Now, speaking of legacy, let's talk more legacy. And let's talk boxing. I opened up talking about Carissa Shields, right? And the legacy that she's leaving behind, a people's champ. Period. Whether you want to say it or not. If it's kind of upside down, I know. Some of my, supporters out there gonna say, "Oh, he's simping and blah blah blah." Like, look, let's call it what it is. I'm a sports content creator. Boxing is a sport. She is the best women's boxing, the best athlete we've seen in years. Period. Point blank. Period. Point blank. Why not talk about it? Because she's a woman. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, I'm not going as far as saying, even though it would be valid, but I'm not going as far as saying if she was a man. No, I'm not going to say that. But it's true. But it's true. But I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say that she's not supported enough for the accomplishments that she has done and the accomplishments that she's been through. That's all I'm going to say there. I think that's true. Whether you want to rock with it or not, it's just true. Now, speaking of legacy in boxing, one of our favorites, Gervonta Tank Davis. Legacy. Where's legacy? Where's his legacy going to go? Where's his legacy at right now? We want to see him box some of the greatest boxers. I think now I'm just a casual boxing fan, but I'm a sports content creator, and I have to be honest with that because there are boxing channels that are just casual basketball watchers and casual football watchers. I am not one of those, but I am a casual boxing fan. And I have to be honest, like I said, because that's just what I do and that's just how I am. However, I do pay enough attention to things that when I do get to talking about boxing, I like to research my facts and to make sure that I am spewing out and spouting out, spitting out facts about what I'm talking about. That's in anything, but especially with boxing because don't know enough about it. Still learning more about that thing, about the sport of boxing, right? But I do know one thing is that we want to see bigger fights. We want to see fights that matters. And it looks like uh the excellency of Ashik and Rada season, he's putting together some historic boxing cards. He's offered Gervonta Davis a couple of cars, millions of dollars to box because he's one of the greatest. Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the best boxers, one of the greatest. But where's your legacy? Where's your legacy going to be? Now, you could take this money and take care of your family. And I get it, bro. I get it. I absolutely get it that you're going to be able to take care of your family. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day is getting this bread. But you boxed. And remember, you fell in love with the sport of boxing because, like, for whatever reason it was, you loved boxing. You wanted to box. You wanted, you know what I'm saying, growing up in the hood. And when you was, you know what I'm saying, your homeboys out there slanging, you're going to the gym, you doing the push-ups, you jump roping, you putting all this work in the gym, trying to stay out of trouble and out the way in Baltimore because you loved it, because it was a way to get out. It wasn't about the money, but then you got with certain people and all these snakes and all these people around you that just soured you to the sport of boxing, something that you love. They took the love from you. You allowed the world to take the love from you out of something that you love. And all that mattered was legacy. There's nothing that can happen to Gervonta Tank Davis if he takes a loss. But see, that's something that us as and I'm a casual boxing fan, and I understand that boxing, the rigor of that training, and to step in there with the best. If you win or you lose, you still should come out on top with the respect that you stepped in that ring and you lasted 12 rounds with somebody who was equal to or better than you statistically or whatever, and you lasted 12 rounds, whether you lose or you win that fight, that is respect. Because and the crazy thing is, the double standard in that is we grow up in a place where we were told you stand up to your bully, whether you win the fight or you lose the fight, you stand up to the person. If you got to rumble, you got to rumble. It happens in life, but you stand up and you take that L. But you better get them licks in. You better stand up to that person. See, I remember, right? I remember back in the day, right? I was young and I was a young dude, man. I'm young. I'm young, and I grew up in the city of Pittsburgh, rough area, man. Pittsburgh is rough. It's a city like it's like crabs in a bucket. You know, your day ones will switch up on you sometimes. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to trust families. It's just a treacherous city, just like a lot of other ones out there, right? It's hard to come by people to trust out there, you know. It's not a city of hustlers, you know. It's always been a city of like, you know, you're gonna find you a nice hitman in Pittsburgh. You're gonna find somebody who know how to rob the shit out of somebody, who know how to pull a trigger, but you ain't gonna find a lot of hustlers from the burg. Like, let me keep it a buck. Now we do got them though. We do got them. There is some hustlers in the burg. Like, don't get it twisted. There's hustlers everywhere, but the majority of the people want to be people who want clout. They want a name. How do you get a name? How do your name ring bells in the hood? It's besides you just being a fun loving person like how I was. I was respected because I was who I was. Yeah, a lot of gangsters called me goofy, weird. That's just what it is because I was myself everywhere I went. And I was accepted in multiple places. And sometimes a lot of people in my neighborhood didn't like the fact that I was from Wilkinsburg, Larmer, but I was able to go down Homewood and not get jumped and I was able to go on the hill and not get jumped. And I was able to go on go visit my homeboys at East Hills and not get jumped. I was able to go to the north side and not get shot. I was able to go to the south side. How was you moving around like that? Because I was bridging the gap and didn't even understand that back then. Because I love I love the dance, love the dance. Used to love the dance, you know what I'm saying? Little chubby dude, I'm busting all the moves, man. You know what I'm saying? I had that Usher dance down pat in the parties. You hear me? And I was known because I used to go skating every weekend. So I met a lot of different people from different areas throughout Pittsburgh. And when they had their little hood parties and stuff, they would call me up and I used to go over there and I used to have the parties crunk. See, girls like dudes that could dance. So if anything, they were probably using me for the little girl that I knew, the girls that I knew around the city, but it didn't matter because I knew a couple dudes and I was accepted. But they was like, you calling what you want to call him, but he ain't trying to be nobody but himself. He's not trying to copy me. He's not trying to copy what you doing. He ain't trying to step on it. He is who he is, and he's not scared of you and what you can do to him. It's a stand up ass dude. Like I gotta rock with him. That's just how it was. Like it was just like you just had to fuck with me because I just was authentic and unapologetically myself at all times. And you don't have that. Got a bunch of copycats and people who scared to be themselves and to show their personalities. But anyway, it was just like I was petrified of this one person. I'm like, I'm not going out fighting. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But look, grandma said, look, you gotta stand up for yourself. He gonna keep on ripping on you. He gonna keep on bullying you. Gonna keep on trying to embarrass you on the bus in front of everybody if you don't stand up to this person. And I had this hard ass Rod Woodson throwback jersey. It was hard, and it was a white one too. And I think I had like a little stain on it, like an ink stain on it or something. And people was like, they was talking about my little stain. Oh, you got a stain on it. And this dude would just fuck with me all the time. Now he was from he was respected by all the little gangsters in the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And I'm on the school bus. He would fuck with me every single day on the school bus, every single day, man. And I'm like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? And I was smart, but I used to get picked on for being smart, for being, you know what I'm saying, for having good grades and shit. So I'm just trying to stay to myself, but I was always myself, you know what I'm saying? People respect me, because like I said, I was known from different areas. Oh man, you be set tripping in it. Like, how I'm a what? Like, hold up, I be doing what? What? Because I know them and I'm cool with them. I'm cool with a couple Garfield dudes. We go to school with them. Like we can't help that. But anyway, fucked with me all the time. And I'm on a school bus and I'm scared as shit. But I can't remember when grandma told me, you gotta stand up to this mug. And boy, did I stand up. I got up out of I'm sitting on my bus on a bus and sitting in my seat and I'm scared to get up and he mushes me in the head. And I'm like, this motherfucker about to get off the bus. And I'm like, man, I can't go out like this. I stood up, took my book bag off. And they said, oh, you want to stand up? And I just start wailing on dude. And I just start wailing on him. Boom, 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 boom. Just didn't stop. I mean, he was up, but I got the first one. Boom, he stumbled out. He was low. Boom, boom, boom. He messed up. He tried to scoop and slam me. I'm like, ooh, no, you just did not try to slam my short ass. You just don't know. My lockup game is crazy. See, that's what we call it. We call wrestling locking it up in Pittsburgh. And we just do it for fun sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a testosterone type of thing. You just lock it up with everybody. We call it, you want to lock it up. Like, it was never a fight. Like, you lock it up. If you get slammed, you get slammed. You just chalk that shit up. Now, some people got in trouble from locking it up because certain people got embarrassed because they thought they was good and you get slammed by somebody. And then now it's a problem because you let that person slam you when you locked it up. It was an ego thing sometimes. But a lot of the times it was just a little testosterone thing. Us youngins did. We locked it up. saying you gotta grab the cuffs. Everybody always went for the cuffs, but I was nice even without the cuffs. He tried to grab my cuffs. Man, I was so incredibly strong though, and I played ball, but I grabbed him and I like power bombed him. I grabbed him, I lifted him up like this, and I like power bombed him on the seat. Boom. And then just started going to town. And I beat him up. And then after the fight, though, it was crazy because he looked up at me. Yeah, he was mad. He wanted to fight me. Wanted to keep fighting off the bus. But everybody's like, it's over with. Like, he got you. I'm like, there's no reason to fight. Get off the school bus. Like, you still want to rumble, we could rumble. But his dudes was like, it's not like he got you. Chalk it up. You know what I mean? He didn't even want to rumble you. You kept fucking with him. You started most of this shit. And now he got you. It's over with. He kind of looked at me, walked away, and it was the end of that. But it was important for my legacy in the hood, right? To stand up for myself. And not only that, people knew from that day forward, like, he's always going to be misunderstood. We're not going to understand CJ trucking. We're not going to understand trucking at all. We're not going to understand trucking. We're not going to understand nothing about, and that's what they, you know, man, I got a different name, period. We're not going to understand him. He's going to be weird. I've always been that way. Just how I am here, people, he's like, you're weird. I've always been called this. It don't mean nothing to me because I'm myself. I'm who I am. But they knew, like, he's with the shits if it came down to it, but he's himself. He's the life of the party. He's always trying to make us laugh. He's always, you know what I'm saying, goofy. He's always doing something that makes us laugh, that makes us smile, and takes us from the escape to the hood. Like, he takes us away from this place. Plus, he always trying to get out the girlies. He's popular with the girls. Gotta get, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I had my reasons, you know what I'm saying? I had my thing, but that it was about the legacy. Like, yo, it was stamped. I didn't try to be something that I wasn't. I didn't walk up to anybody in the neighborhood that I knew that could hustle, that I can get on it and say that I wanted to do that and say, can I get? I didn't do that. Like mostly, like a lot of people that I knew, I didn't do that. I didn't take that route. I was always who I was, no matter where I was or who I went. And I'm a still and when I'm talking about the legacy of the fighting, like where's his gonna be at? Did you stand up to the bullies and to the best in the game? Because I did. I had to. And we all did at one point in time. There's everybody got a story just like that. Everybody got a story to where they stood up to somebody that they probably didn't want to stand up to. You lost or you won that fight. I remember I lost a fight one time, right? And you know, and I'm arguing my little girl. Like we walking. It's probably about 8 o'clock, summertime, sunset. I'm out there arguing my little girl at the time. We walking. It's a nice, you know what I'm saying, mild summer night. I had like twisted my ankle doing some kind of sport and some sports or something. So I got like a little ace bandage on. I'm limping and I'm arguing. And she had a friend and he's like, yo, you better stop arguing with my little cousin or I'm gonna sock you. But I think it was more like he just wanted to hit me, right? We had like this little rival going on, right? He's always popular with the chicks, but I was too. But he was, you know what I'm saying? But he was respected in the hood, you know, had the older brother who was really a G, you know what I'm saying? And whatnot. And I'm just walking and I'm just mad at my business. I'm like, you trying me? Like, you gonna tell me to be quiet? Like, this not like what? And he had a full Pepsi can and he took it and he slung it at me. He cracked me in the face with it. Bang! I'm like, oh. And he rushed me. And mind you, I got an ace bandage on. Got an ace on my ankles messed up. So I'm limping on one leg and he's rushing me. And I'm like, oh, come here. And I'm like, oh, caught him. Boom. I caught him a couple times. He caught me. Bink, bink. I couldn't really do nothing when I locked it up. So he's like throwing me because I'm like on one leg. So he threw me. Boom. Caught me a couple times. Boom. I got up, caught him. Boom. We trading blows. But after that fight, do you know this person who was highly respected? I want to spit their name out. This person who was highly respected in neighborhoods, in multiple neighborhoods, but especially the neighborhood we grew up in. Highly respected. I'm talking about brothers that really put in that work. Was like nobody better than that ever touch him. Became one of my children's godfather. And the relationship with him still to this day, and the respect level that we have for each other was just understood. Like, and from that day forward, it was just understood that he's not no punk. He will rumble, and he gonna stand up for himself against anybody at any given time. Cause he, like, you know what I mean? But he's always gonna be who he is, no matter what. So yeah, legacy matters. Cause all we got out there is respect. That's all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't got millions of dollars. We don't have millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So when we walking around our neighborhoods and we're young, and back then, it wasn't internet wars. That's the type of stuff that we went through. Cause you know what I mean? It didn't matter what you talked about on the internet. It just mattered we get down with the get down. We was for real with it. But it was hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't always lead to somebody getting killed at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? It was okay. We knew how to take so a lot of us knew how to take ass whoopings, because that was like, I think that was the last of a dying breed that understood, like, the difference between, you know what I'm saying, us rumbling, maybe me knocking you out from a punch versus turning your TV off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a big difference between that, and we understood that. And we didn't have millions of dollars, so all you had was your respect. But for some reason, when you get all this money and it becomes about money, you then forget about the respect. And you're a fighter. You're a fighter. You forget that your mom told you you better go out there and beat their butt, or you ain't coming back in the crib. Or your grandma or whoever, like, you gotta stand up. You forget that mentality, but for some reason, I don't believe that. I strongly believe that Gervonta Tank Davis grew up with that same mentality. It looked like his mom is that type of mom that's going to tell you, you better stand up. And it's about legacy to him. But then there's a lot of people, writers, so forth and so on, who would try to tarnish a legacy of his. But Mike Tyson, they tried to do Mike Tyson the same way when he took his L's. Tried to do Roy Jones Jr. the same way when he took his L's. I don't know why it's like that with boxers. I don't know if it's just black boxers or what, but I don't know why it's like that. But got to remember, they knocked out 18 people in the 30 fights that they had, and they won 29 of them, and they lost 3. They lost 3 fights out of the 40 fights that he had in his whole career. And we trying to say that he don't matter. We don't even know how, like, Pretty Boy Floyd, he's undefeated, right? But how would he take if he got his ass whooped? How would he take it? He probably wouldn't even know how to take a L. But they got to stay undefeated. No, they should never have to take undefeated. That should never take away from Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather lost a fight. You know what I'm saying? It should never take away. It should never take away from Roy Jones Jr. It didn't take away from Sugar Ray Leonard because he fought so much. It didn't take away from Mike Tyson. Years later, at the time, it was impactful because they're not supposed to be beat. Like, what? They fight. Do you fight? Have you ever even been in a street fight? Like, that's the thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's about the legacy. It's about standing up to them fights. hushing it up, lose or win. And I think we're moving back. I think we're moving into that place where people is starting to be a little bit more understanding of that and a lot more objective towards that. Like, yeah, it may seem like that in the mainstream, but that's not media no more. Mainstream ain't media no more. See, it's the people that have the voices, the people that matter. Mainstream don't matter, dog. That don't matter. If you take a L, but I don't even know if he's worried about taking an L. Cause I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. Cause I don't think nobody could beat him. But the legacy is always gonna have to say that. We always gonna have to say there's always gonna be that if. But the best fights need to happen. The best fights need to happen in boxing. Because that's what's saving boxing right now. We laugh at Devin Haney for fighting a souped up Ryan Garcia because he got knocked out with a souped up Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? We dissed the Haney, we laughed at him, they ridiculed him for that. You know what I'm saying? But he stood up, but he took the fight though. That was a major fight. He took the fight. He was 3 pounds overweight. That was right then and there where he should have been cut. But he took somebody who came in 3 pounds overweight, tested positive for steroids. You can't deny that. I don't care how it got in your system with what nutrients or whatever you was taking. You ain't supposed to be taking them substances when you building up for a fight or when you training for when you're in camp anyway. So however it got in your system, there's no excuse. I don't care if it got in your system because you ate bread, a piece of bread that or a certain type of bread that had that in that. You shouldn't be eating that bread because it got some type of steroid in there that can possibly help you. See, people try to cut corners or whatever, but you came in 3 pounds overweight and he still took the fight. So he really didn't even want to fight Devin Haney, honestly, and up anyway, when it all boiled down to it, if you ask me. But the legacy of Haney, that's going to be there, that loss. But see, you got to put that loss in context, though. You got to put that in with that. You got to say that with that loss, he was 3 pounds overweight. But Haney shouldn't have fought him. Nobody told him to fight him 3 pounds overweight. He still did, though. And to find out, then to come to find out, he was taking some substance and getting it in his system with taking something else different. We don't know. For all we know, he purposely took that Pacific supplement because it had it in it. We don't know. Now you could say that because there was traces of it, but still, it's in the system and it ain't supposed to be. You got things in your system that you're not supposed to be. You getting paid millions of dollars for a fight. And you tell me you can't stay away from a certain supplement. He didn't like you came in 3 pounds overweight. He did not want the fight. He didn't want to fight Haney up and up. He just didn't want to do it. For some reason, didn't want to, and I thought it, and it would probably still would have been a great fight because their styles are good. They're both fast. Ryan Garcia is very fast with the hands. Now, if you ask me if anything, that is that's a something on your legacy that you don't want. Is for somebody to say that you cheated or you had performance enhancement drugs in your system. That's something that you don't want with your legacy. But it's not, they didn't stop none of his millions of followers. Ain't nothing out there. So I think so we do know that there's some kind of bias out there when it comes to certain boxers and everything like that, but it's all about the legacy. And I hope that legacy means something to Gervonta Tank Davis before he gets on up out of here before he retires from boxing. I hope that he gives us some of these major fights and he does it for legacy. Because I would love to say without a doubt that I got to watch one of the best boxers to ever box in the ring fight. You know what I'm saying? The best. Because I think that's why Sugar Ray Leonard, Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson, and all and guys that will always be remembered and have such a huge legacy and will always be a part of boxing histories because they fought the best. They fought the best. They fought them all. Short, fast, skinny, tall. They fought them all. They just did. They didn't never back down from nobody. They took everything that came their way. And I think that's something that you can honestly say right now with Haney. That's something that you can say with Haney too. I think Haney's going to take them all. I don't think that Haney's going to back down from anybody. And that's something that goes with his legacy. Because he's fought a Lomachenko, whether you want to say he lost or he won that fight, he fought him. He fought him. He fought a Ryan Garcia. That was a big fight that everybody wanted to see. They thought we knew their styles would match up. He fought him. He stood up. But that's something that we just don't got. That's something that a lot of people just don't got nowadays. You dig? That's all I want to say with that. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to catch you on the next one, man. I went on for another hour. So I know what time it is. Hey, become a member, man, so that y'all get all of them back to back. If not, you have to wait, Jack. It's just how it is, man. It's how it is. But I'm up out of here. Hey, pray for me. I pray for y'all. Peace, y'all.